You will not believe this story. Cassie Fiano, who is a blogger, uh, wrote about this story about how unionized teachers were fired for refusing to work an extra 25 minutes a day. Get a load of this. Under the threat, this is her story, of losing their jobs if they didn't go along with extra work for not a lot of extra pay, the Central Falls Teachers Unions refused last Friday morning to accept the reform plan for one of the worst performing high schools in the state of Rhode Island. The superintendent didn't blink either. Hooray! After learning of the union's position, school superintendent Frances Gallo notified the state that she was switching to an alternative she was hoping to avoid, firing the entire staff at Central Falls High School. In total, about 100 teachers, administrators, and assistants will lose their jobs. And Gallo blamed the union's callous disregard for the situation, saying union leaders knew full well what would happen if they rejected the 6 conditions Gallo said were crucial to improving the school. The conditions were adding 25 minutes to each school day, providing tutoring on a rotating schedule before and after school, eating lunch with students once a week, submitting to more rigorous evaluations, attending weekly after-school planning sessions with other teachers, and participating in 2 weeks of training in the summer. Now, the high school's 74 teachers will receive letters during school vacation advising them to attend a February 22nd meeting where they each will be handed a termination notice that takes effect for the 2010-11 school year. Gallo said she was devastated and that she had thought the union would agree to her conditions even though she did not offer to pay the teachers more for most of the additional responsibilities. Get a load of this. Listen to this. They were going to be paid extra, but they weren't going to be paid extra. They shouldn't have. They were already getting paid between $72,000 and $78,000 a year. And guess what? The median income for the area is $22,000. Meanwhile, the school in question is beyond struggling, people. It's beyond struggling. For example, only 3% of 11th graders were considered proficient in math in 2008, and 7%, a lowly 7% in 2009. The school also has some of the lowest graduation rates and test scores in the state. It had a 50% failure rate. 50% failure rate. Gallo was ordered by the educational commissioner to adopt one of 4 models to fix the school. She chose the transformation model, which she wanted teachers to approve. If they didn't, however, her second choice was the turnaround model, which meant the removal of the entire staff and allowed the rehire of more than 50% of the former staff. Unionized teachers wouldn't accept working harder unless they got paid more, and now they won't accept the consequences. The town itself is already economically depressed, yet unions expect taxpayers to fork over more money to pay teachers, get a load of this, to, do their jobs, infuriating even those it isn't wholly surprising. Listen, this is amazing. Is this amazing? 25 extra minutes a day. 25 extra minutes a day. That's all they were asked to do. Now, union officials say they too want to improve the high school. Yeah, right. But are unwilling to sign off on the 6 conditions, especially without receiving additional pay. In a letter, union officials say they do not think Gallo has the authority, do not think she has the authority to fire the teachers, and she must negotiate the terms of the reforms. Well, in an interview, James M. Sessom's union president said the union intends to fight the termination, although she was not ready to say how. Listen. Congratulations to Miss Gallo for having backbone, for having chutzpah to fire these teachers and in effect fire these unions. If you're not producing, if it's not for the benefit and the best interest of these kids, you should be fired. If you're making $72,000 to $78,000 a year and the median income is $22,000 and you can't produce and you cannot sign on to these simple terms, your butt should be fired. Congratulations to a school district who set an example for the rest of this nation where unions continue to destroy the school system and these kids' way of life for the future. I'm Armstrong Williams.